I'm Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show, here with Jennifer Ireland and Dr. Alberto Rian from the Equine Performance and Innovative Center here in the horse capital of the world. We've been telling this story, Tuff's life, his beginning. It was tough indeed. Tough also for his mom, the ER nurse, dealing with all the COVID situation this year. But Tuff is here with us, and we're thrilled to say that is because of Dr. Alberto Rian and his incredible team at Epic. And Dr. Rian is telling us kind of about the treatment plan and what they did to save his life. So carry on and tell us some more.
Just a quick correction before
Yes.
we go on. You say he's here because of us, and I just want to make sure that I correct that a little bit, because this horse has just the ability to heal and get better is beyond what we can do, for sure, and obviously thanks to Jennifer. So I just wanted to say that before I go on. So when he arrived, I did tell Jennifer prognosis was grave. However, if she was not willing to give up and he was not willing to give up, we were not willing to give up either. So we kept it very simple, we kept it very basic, we kept with the original science that says that the horse with his problems is going to need antibiotics, going to need fluids to try to wash up the kidneys. What we added was oxygen therapy. So we added a hyperbaric oxygen chamber therapy to his regimen. And another thing that we learned from research is that back in the days, we thought that the hyperbaric chamber was effective after 5 or maybe 10 treatments. But recent research actually shows that sometimes to be really effective, they need 30 or 40 treatments. Needless to say, he got over 40 treatments. And that's what started to make a difference, because everything was coming stable, but it came a point where he just say, okay, I'm going in, I'm going all the way, I'm not going to come back. And that was probably after the 35 to 38 hyperbaric chamber. Then, of course, the next scare is what will happen when we stop the chamber treatment. And sure enough, every time we would stop the chamber treatment, the creatinine would go up again a little bit. So it would start getting our nerves starting to tingle a little bit again. And then we kept playing that game and starting to wean him off slowly until finally we were able to stabilize it, and he was able to be without it. And then after that he went without fluid. Then after that he went from the ICU unit to outside, and then after that he went to a paddock to now being a horse. So that's in a nutshell.
That's amazing. And so how many months was that altogether?
He was in the clinic for about 4 months total.
Yeah. Well, he's 8 months, so he was there, because I have the dates. He arrived at the clinic. He was born on the 10th of April. He got to their clinic on the 27th, and he came here on like the 5th of September or something like that. So he's been home 2 months. So he was actually there till he was 6 months old.
Wow.
But he was outside the last couple months or so. So, but now he's a horse. He is getting to be exactly what he missed out on the first couple months. I mean, he plays with his buddies over there, and he's about to lose mom. It's time for him to go independent. He is going to start living the life of a real horse. And the stallion owner has been amazing. He called me at one point in Savannah. He's like, I want to give you another breeding to the stallion. And I was like, what? And he goes, I don't care what happens at this point. He goes, you've done so much. He goes, I want to give a breeding to you. And the mare's not going to have any more babies. She's going to be 22. So I have Tuff's sister, and I got her back, and Tuff's sister will get that honor. But so he is getting ready to be nominated to the Barrel Futurities, the ones that, Frenchman's Fabulous has 2 finalists in the NFR right now, and last year he had 3. So there's only 15 horses that are in the NFR, and he's it. So do I think he's going to go to the NFR? Don't know, but he's conquered everything that's been put in front of him, and things he shouldn't have conquered. I mean, honestly, it was as long a shot as you could have asked for him. When he texted me that night and said, I'm giving you hour to hour, and he sent me a picture of the labs, and I was like, oh boy. And I just thought, okay, we're going to do hour by hour. But at least I could know then that I had done everything. And then my gut would say, okay. But it wasn't saying it that day. He was walking around that grave and saying, Mom, I'm not ready for that. So he's got so much personality. He is a people horse. I mean, he wants to be in your face and get attention, but he's been like that since he was born. It wasn't just a part of the treatment. And I have to say that his crew made this so much easier for me. And the way they treated him like he was their own, and made it so much easier for me when I had to leave and couldn't be back to see what was going on. And yeah, they kept some of the bad stuff away from me, which I was okay, because I was already stressed. But I don't know. I think his future's very bright. So
tell us, when you were making that decision not to give up, what was the real deciding factor for you to keep trying to save him?
That phone call to this Krista and Danny, who is standing there looking at me saying, let's try, let's give him, let's do this ourselves, let's try until we see. And that's when I said, let me talk to Dr. Marsh, who I knew and I trusted. And I didn't know these vets. I had no relationship with them whatsoever, and it's nothing against them.
Right.
It's just I didn't have that trust factor where I could say, yes, I believe in what you're saying. And Dr. Marsh was saying, I would have had that baby in a hyperbaric chamber from the get-go. And I had already talked to him in the midst of his treatment about whether he thought what was being done was right anyway. So he already knew about him, and he got back right away and said, do it. And so I think between there's those three factors that really played a part in it. But honestly, I think he was telling me that day when we got him off that trailer, I'm not ready. And even, while I was waiting to hear from Dr. Lawn, which I was standing out there, and he's out there loving the sun and standing up, and I got pictures of him, and oh God, please call me back. Apparently it took a while, but it was all these things that just tell you that it's not time. And, we can say, well, it's not a good financial decision, or, you got to look at this like a business and you got to just let it go. Well, at my age, you know what? That's not what it's all about for me. And
clearly your heart was definitely involved. Yeah. Dr. Rianne, last words to wrap it up about Tuff and about Epic and clearly this miracle.
Pound by pound, definitely the toughest horse we have ever met. There's no question about it. And the same thing for the owner, the toughest owner we have ever met. Are very few the owners that would go the length that she actually did. And we have had horses with severe diseases who have made it, and similar poor prognosis. But what Jennifer went is mentally drowning. It's mentally exhausting, and she's tough. She's a tough one. She's a tough one. But it shows how perseverance, hard work, and a good team pays off, and how it also shows how sometimes we just have to think outside the box. Definitely. So,
tough horse, tough owner, epic veterinarians, epic rehab for sure, and a miracle story. We're so glad that Tuff hang on and that they didn't give up and gave him the miracle of life. And who knows, we'll probably see him at the NFR. I'm Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show. Please like us on Facebook. Please subscribe on YouTube to the Horse Talk Show TV, and check us out on all the social media and thehorsetalkshownetwork.com. I'm Louisa Barton, and I hope you enjoyed this incredible story.